Where much of the Ironborn plot was changed from the books in Game of Thrones, we not only lost much loved fan favourite point of view characters such as Victarion Greyjoy, but also many of the interesting minor characters that surround them. For me, one of the most compelling parts of A Feast for Crows is Asha Greyjoy's character, and seeing how she interacts with those she chooses to keep around her, none more so than the complicated relationship she has with Tristifer Botley. So let's take a look at Tristifer and how he fits into Asha's story, and try and work out why he was cut from the TV show. Tristifer Botley, more commonly known to his friends simply as Tris, is the second son of Lord Swain Botley of Lordsport. He was born between the years 274 and 277 AC, meaning he is at least 21 years old at the start of the main books. Tristifer has messy brown hair and large eyes. It is said he was pimpled as a boy, although now he is described as handsome by all accounts. In his youth, Tristifer is among the 5 young boys selected to be fostered by Lady Alannys Harlaw at Pike, following the events of the Greyjoy Rebellion. In the rebellion, Alannys' eldest sons were all killed, with her sole surviving son, Euron Greyjoy, being sent to Winterfell as a hostage to prevent another rebellion. Tristifer very quickly became friends with Asha Greyjoy, Alannys' daughter, and that friendship was mutual between them. Unfortunately for Tristifer, he was sent away to Blacktide after he and Asha were found abed together, touching each other by Maester Quaelin. Tristifer is said to have written many letters to Asha from Blacktide, but most of the time the Maester of Blacktide refused to send them, fearing angering Alannys. We learn in A Feast for Crows that Tristifer became the rightful Lord of Lordsport after his father Swain was killed by Euron Greyjoy when he refused to swear fealty to him after the death of Balon Greyjoy, stating that Euron Greyjoy was Balon's rightful heir. His elder brother died during the siege of Caelin, meaning the Botley lands now should pass to Tristifer. He is, however, passed over, and his uncle Germund is named the new lord, with Euron giving half of the Botley lands to House Winch. Tristifer then travels to 10 Towers after Lord Roderick Harlaw calls all those that are loyal to Asha to gather there. He meets her there and declares his love for her, but is spurned. He tells Asha, "You and I were meant to be. I've always known you would be my wife and the mother of my sons." Asha replied, "Take your hand away, or you will not live long enough to breed a son. Now, you want a woman, well and good. I'll put one in your bed tonight. Pretend she is me, if that will give you pleasure, but do not presume to grab me again. I am your queen, not your wife. Remember that." Despite this harsh rejection from Asha, he stands as one of her champions during the Kingsmoot on Old Wick, supporting her claim to the Seastone chair. Ultimately, Asha loses the Kingsmoot as Euron Greyjoy is proclaimed King of the Isles. Tristifer sails on his longship to 10 Towers and Deepwood Motte with Asha as Asha contemplates her next move. In the meantime, he grows a thick brown beard, wears furs, and rides a tall roan stallion. He tells Asha the story of Torgon the Latecomer, who was High King of the Ironborn during the Age of Heroes. Torgon was the eldest son of King Euron II Grey-Iron. When his father died, Torgon had been away raiding along the Mander from his stronghold in the Shield Islands. His brothers sent him no word of the Kingsmoot, hoping that one of them would be chosen. However, Orathan IV, good brother, was chosen instead, and he had all of Torgon's brothers killed. When Torgon returned, he denounced the Kingsmoot as unlawful and revolted against Urathan with the aid of priests and lords and Urathan's own captains. Although he was not chosen in the Kingsmoot, Torgon ruled for 40 years. Asha kisses Tristifer after he finishes the tale. Tristifer proposes the Ironborn under Asha abandon Westeros and try and make their fortune as traders, which Asha firmly rejects. When the Northern Mountain clansmen approach Deepwood Motte, Asha abandons the castle and leads her Ironborn towards the Bay of Ice. Travelling in the Wolfswood, Tristifer refuses to sleep with Hagen's daughter. They are defeated in a fight by Deepwood Motte by Stannis Baratheon's men. Despite not being a warrior, Tristifer is said to have fought bravely in the battle, while Asha is taken by Stannis for his march on Winterfell. Tristifer and the other Ironborn survivors are imprisoned at Deepwood Motte, as Asha's 4 longships are captured and burned by Alysanne Mormont. The Ironborn at Deepwood Motte are eventually ransomed from Lady Sybil Glover by Tycho Nestoris of the Iron Bank. They escort the Iron Bank's envoy to Stannis, whose army is encamped at a crofter's village on the march to Winterfell. We find out during the Winds of Winter sample chapters that Tristifer is reunited with Asha at the crofter's village, and he accompanies Asha to meet with Stannis Baratheon when she's asked about the fate of her captive brother Euron Greyjoy. And until we get to the Winds of Winter, that is all we currently know of Tristifer Botley. Now, Tristifer Botley being omitted from the TV show is not particularly surprising, given that when trimming down the number of characters in the adaptation, more minor ones such as Tristifer are always going to be the first to get cut. But I do actually enjoy him as a character, for two reasons, as we learn through him quite a lot about Asha Greyjoy as a person and what is truly important to her, winning the throne. While I think she does have some care for Tristifer, it is clear she primarily sees him through a political means. And while she keeps their relationship just that, political, it is clear Tristifer reads into it to a more personal level, even after Asha's clear rejection of him romantically. But what is interesting about Tristifer is he is simultaneously an Ironborn, but by many accounts, not your typical Ironborn man, as he isn't really a vicious killer, doesn't really care for the traditional Ironborn lifestyle, and most importantly, is very loyal, not motivated by money or power, but for a one-sided love for Asha Greyjoy, who makes it very clear that she doesn't reciprocate said feelings, which in turn is what makes his relationship with her so compelling. I think George R. R. Martin manages to write Tristifer in a way that I believe is a pretty convincing portrayal of a young man who is hopelessly infatuated with his childhood sweetheart, not really knowing who that person grew up to become. He loves the idea of Asha, not really knowing her the way he thinks, glorifying this ideal image of her in his head he's built up over years. What is very telling about Tristifer is after Asha's rejection, he still stands by her and still wants her to be his queen. Whether that's fueled by genuine loyalty to her or some hopeless delusion that she might eventually come round to his advances is up for debate. But at the end of the day, I don't see a positive end to his story, and I suspect that he will meet his end either trying to impress Asha in some way, or possibly even trying to save her.